I just love you, Sky. I just love you. And I'm so glad that you were born when you were born, because I think about how hard it was for me, back in the early 2000s. And
Yeah, I cannot imagine that.
the
Like, I
internet
didn't
was
even
so
know.
new.
Yeah,
I would go to the library and check out books on the weekend. And that's how I taught myself, is just
that's
reading
so
books.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, when
So
you said you were trading that long ago, I was like, I didn't even know trading was around. Like, I knew like stocks and currencies were there, but I did not know that you could like trade. I was like, that's so crazy.
yeah. Yeah. I would put orders in um, before I left for work, and I didn't know if they were going to hit or not.
Yeah,
With a stop loss and everything. And then, like
yeah.
at my lunch, I'd go check, and it was like we didn't even have cell phones. I mean, we had cell phones, but not like
Like
now.
flip
They were
phones,
like
probably.
flip
Yeah,
phones, right?
yeah.
So when I think about it, I'm just like, oh my God, it would have been so much easier. Not that it's easy. Don't get me wrong. I know how hard
No,
trading
easier to
is.
keep up with for sure. Like,
Get down, get
Hi, and welcome. I'm so excited. Today we have Sky Trades. I found her on Instagram and I've just been loving her content. I find her to be raw and real. She's a young Canadian woman, and I have tons of questions to ask her. But first, I want to introduce you to the website that looks like this. It is realwomentrade.com. And on this website, our mission is to spotlight real women who trade with skill and integrity and discipline. And I have a handful of women on here that I want to introduce you to. I've been following. You can see on the website what they trade, and also how you can follow them if it's something that interests you. And I'll be adding more women as time goes by. And these are all women that I would like to interview, or perhaps I've already got scheduled. So check out that website, realwomentrade.com. And if you know a woman that trades and that I can interview, please drop her name or contact information in the description below, and I will do my best to contact her and we'll see what we can get worked out. But as you can see, we have Sky from Canada joining us. So welcome, Sky.
thank you, thank you.
Okay, so my Canadian friend, what part of Canada are you from?
I'm in Ontario. I'm actually from the very far north side of Ontario. So I just recently moved to the city around the Ottawa area. But I grew up, yeah, very far up north, about 10 hours north from here. So
Oh, 10 hours. That's really north.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's very north, yes.
Okay. Okay. And you're a college student, is that correct?
Yes, so I've actually just finished a program in corrections in college, and I'm now back in there for some sort of social media content stuff, mostly to play sports because I am an athlete, but yes, I am still currently taking courses, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's probably smart to be taking social media content
Yes,
classes, because
exactly.
everything's changing fast, right?
100%, yeah.
All right. Well, how did you get started in trading?
Honestly, it's a pretty silly story for me. I was back home, in the bush, just hanging out with my family, and someone I knew from when I was way younger posted a TikTok about trading, and so I was super curious. I had never really seen that before. I had seen a bit in the early days of COVID, but I didn't really look into it much more than that. Like it was just very confusing. I mean, everyone who looks at a chart for the first time, like it's like, what is happening? So he posted that, so I sent him a message, and I was just like, what is this that you keep posting? Because I was just so intrigued. And so he had started, I guess, learning with a company. Um, that was kind of just worldwide. And he connected me with a girl who at the time was like living in a bus. She had converted a school bus and was living out of that. So basically, I connected with her, got on a call with her, and we became like instant friends. We're talking every day to this day. And this has been like, I want to say over 3 years for sure, like 4, maybe 5 years at this point. And so, yeah, I just connected with her and started my journey with that company, which ultimately was not made for me. But her and I stayed in contact. We both left that company, and now we're just on our own journeys. So that's really how I got to know anything about trading. So
And was this Forex that you started with?
yes, gold
Okay.
and stuff like that. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got your feet wet, and then what happened that you knew, like, I have to do this? I have to trade.
Honestly, I was always that kid that was like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, and it's not because
Mhm.
I'm lazy, I'm just, like, my mind's always going 100 miles an hour, so I was like, "This just isn't fulfilling for me, it's not enough," and I've been saying that since literally as long as I can remember. I mean, to be honest, my entire path and future was sports until, like, injuries and stuff, and then I was like, "Hey, I need to find something different that's, like, keeping my brain rolling." And so almost instantly, to be honest, when I looked into it, although I didn't get what I was looking for out of that first company, like, just everything I was seeing with trading and just the discipline and it being so consistent, I was like, "I love this, like, this would keep me
Mhm.
so busy." And so, yeah, it was just I just always knew. I was like, "I don't wanna, like, kinda conform to that boring life," and just watching my family, my mother, being a single mom and just
Mhm.
work, come home, bedtime, work, come home, bedtime. I was like, "I
Yeah.
absolutely do not wanna do that." So,
Yeah.
yeah, that
So
was a big thing for me.
we've all come into this game with money blocks, thoughts about money that
Absolutely.
have had to change. So what thoughts have you shifted or changed around money since becoming a trader?
Yeah, so I don't think I would have a basic answer for this in the sense of like I had a glorified view of money. To be honest, I've had a chance to live both a privileged life and a not so privileged life as I grew up. And so money was just always kind of iffy.
Mhm.
Um, so I think the most that I really learned for that was just how it works. Like, how you don't necessarily need to give all your time for money. And I think as much as that's not like a bad view to have, I think we're all just conditioned so deeply that like that's how it is, right? You have to follow a certain routine in life and that's just how it is. And I think just kind of trusting myself and just learning that it's okay to not follow that and just
Mhm.
be different, like that's okay and people won't understand and that's also okay. And so that specifically and just um the fact of, especially in trading, I feel like a lot of people like to understand it's not only about the money you make, but how to keep it and how to grow it.
Mhm.
That's definitely not
Mhm.
something I knew in the beginning, right? You have your first few payouts, your first winning trades, and you just want to go spend it. So that was definitely a hard lesson for me, I will say. I'm not the best when it comes to spending, so that was like something I really had to like adjust to and learn because you just have to, right? Like there's no
Yeah.
point of making some if you're just gonna blow it all. So
Yeah. So did you start off trading prop firm accounts? How did you get the
um
capital?
yeah, so basically I just started in a demo. I mean, like everyone else, which is
Yeah.
something I suggest to everybody because it's very easy to get disappointed. You go in not knowing. So I did
Yeah.
that for a very long time. And to be honest, I literally started trading live before I went into any prop firms or funded challenges or anything like that. Just because I was, dipping my toes around in different things and strategies. So I started with smaller numbers, like I throw in a few $100s here and there because like
Mhm.
I was working at the time. And then from there, I just would use that money to, buy a funded account and like so on and so forth.
Mhm. So, what are you trading now? Are you still trading prop firms or
No, I
capital?
mostly trade live now. I do have some challenges going on in my social media, like regarding passing like phases of prop firms. So I have a lot of like funded accounts laying around from a year ago or 2 years ago that I just haven't touched in so long. So I'm kind of dipping into that area of just like making challenges to make it more fun for like my people of like this is the reality of trading a funded, let's say you start with just a 5K, like most people is all that they can, like that's all that they can afford, sorry. So I'm really trying to make it like raw and like if I was a beginner, this is what it would look like. So I do trade in there, here and there, and I just kind of take those profits and throw them into my live account realistically. So
Yeah. And what's your time frame that you trade on?
this is a great question, actually. So, I do trade different pairs. So I do trade gold mostly. I know it's not the greatest reputation, but I started off with gold, and to be honest, I just always find my way back there. And so on gold, most entries I will take is on a 5 minute, but coming down from like bigger time frame
Yeah.
analysis. And then there's also a strategy that I used a lot, like in those funded accounts for those challenges, which is a scalping on GBP USD and Euro USD, which is like 5 minute bias confirmation, stuff like that, and then going down to a 1 minute. I will say in my journey, I started on a lot smaller time frames, but I noticed very quickly that it moves quick. So
Yeah.
that's not my favorite thing anymore. I'm way more comfortable like 5, 15 minute, any of those like in between time frames.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you first started with that first company, how would you describe yourself? And now that time has passed and you have a lot more experience, who are you? Who were you then and who are you now?
Ooh, back then, I think I was just a young, teen, early 20s, in that era of my life of just who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Right. And I think I went into that. Obviously, I had no confidence because I had no idea what I was doing. And so that was difficult. And like I said, there wasn't much that I came out of from that company except realizing that, trading is real, just most people aren't. And so, kind of just realizing that. So I think going into that, I was always disciplined. I mean, due to sports and stuff like that, but I think that definitely grew quite a bit. I feel like I'm a pretty self-aware person, although I know what needs to change. I don't always do that, but like
Yeah.
when you're trading, you have to, right?
Yeah.
So that for me was good because that also helped me in every other aspect, right? And that's something I share a lot too with like the people I teach is like you're not just disciplined on the charts, you're disciplined in every other part of your life as well, right? Or you're consistent in every part of your life. Like it all follows and ties together. So that's definitely a big change that came within me in the trading and just I guess just doubting myself of like what is possible. So just seeing my own journey and seeing how, I was so excited for this company and spent so much time and money into this to come out with nothing and having to start over. I was like, hey, like I can do anything. I can do hard things. I can build
Yeah.
myself like, from the ground up. So I'm definitely way more confident in just the decisions I'm making and what I want for my future, especially considering the fact that people don't really understand and like I'm at peace with that. I don't feel the need to explain myself to anyone anymore. So I think just overall character shift, to be honest, and like discipline
Yeah.
and confidence and stuff like that.
So mentioning having to explain yourself, do you tell people you're a trader? Like how does I'm sure your family knows, but to what extent does everybody
Yes,
know?
so my mother knows. I will say she does not understand any of it, but she has been very supportive. I feel like me and my mother, we've not always had the greatest relationship, but one thing that has always stuck is just her trust in me, which I appreciate a lot because I don't think I would, take the leaps I do in life if it wasn't for that. Like, although she may not understand something that I'm doing and sometimes I don't even understand when I start doing something either.
Yeah.
Like I don't really have anything to be like, don't worry, I'm okay. She just trusts that, I'm gonna be smart with it and I'm gonna be somebody. And she's always told me that, right? Like even when I was young and saying I don't want to live a normal life, she's like, you literally do anything you put your mind to, so I'm not even worried. And so in that sense. So yeah, she knows I'm in the space. She knows I do a bit of the stuff. We don't talk about it much just because she doesn't understand it, but she's
Yeah.
very supportive, and she just has faith in me that I'll do good things. As for the rest of the people in my life, most of my family, I don't think they really know, to be honest, like my grandparents, stuff like that.
Yeah.
To them, I'm just a college student and that's what I do,
Yeah.
and that's that. I don't think they know anything about social media, like what I do at all
Yeah.
online. And for friends, some people know just because like they see my stuff. They don't necessarily like watch it, like they know that that's just not their thing, and that's fine. They are supportive, like if I need to like speak about it or I'm having a hard time with something, but I think it's pretty much just all the same. They don't really understand, especially coming from where I come from. Everyone's
Mhm.
very conformed. We go to high school, then we'll go to college, and we all just go in construction or in the mines and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's our normal. And so yeah, it's not a huge conversation. Not a lot of people know. Like I said, they know I'm on social media, but they don't really ask. I don't mind that because I don't have to explain. So that's kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about your teammates?
My teammates, yeah, so I think a few of them know. It did come up in conversation of like me working from home and stuff like that, and kind of just saying like, oh, like I trade stocks, whatever. I don't think they really know what that means at all.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, like so you get to just like do it from home and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, like it's pretty chill. Like so like sometimes on the bus, we'll have the charts open, like if we're traveling on a weekday and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that it's also just a matter of like they don't understand, so the conversation just never goes further. But same with them, those who do know, they're like, "Oh, cool, like good for you." Like
Sure.
they're supportive, and I don't bring it up unless the question's asked. So
Yeah. What failure taught you the most about your edge or lack of one?
everything in trading teaches you so much about that. Like the thing that people like to understand is like for all of us who do succeed and make it to where we're at, like we have failed too many times to count, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you like not a lot of people talk about this because you don't want to discourage anyone, but also like you want to be transparent and be like, yeah, you got to learn to lose to learn how to win and just stuff like that. So I think probably just the whole frustration of the beginning of my journey has just
Mhm.
built me into the trader I am today, and everything that I do and the decisions that I make and how I approach things, just because like I said, the whole company thing and starting over, and then we all go through like the strategy bouncing and then trading with emotion and stuff like that. I think it was just
Mhm.
I had to just sit myself down and just be like, you're either doing this properly or you're not. Like it's up to you, and
Mhm.
however you move forward from that is how you move forward from that. So
Yeah. So is your trading plan completely strategy based, or do you rely on intuition at all, or is it just like very
yeah,
meticulous?
so um I definitely do have I tend to be a very logical person in every aspect of my life. I've always have been. That's actually I would say it's a flaw, but also, an advantage for me in life. But a lot of people get frustrated with me. I always try to approach situations with logic. So there's definitely quite a bit of logic for me there, in that area. Just like risk management wise, percentage wise,
Mhm.
and how much I'm willing to risk. But I do think, yes, that intuition is definitely a part of trading. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
gambling, you're not trying to, but I feel like it's like every other situation in your life, your gut plays some sort of part in it, and whether you listen to it or not, that's up to you. But I feel like trading is the same, right? Like, yes, you have the data, you have, all the patterns, all the whatever it is that you're following, but at some point it's like, okay, do I trust myself? Do I trust, the trade that I'm getting into? Like
Mhm.
that's all super important. So I think it's kind of just a mixture of everything, to be honest. So
Yeah. Do you I know you have a set I know you have stop losses because you talk a lot about risk management.
yes.
Um, but how do you take your profit? Do you go up to a resistance, or you do a set 2 to 1 or 3 to 1?
Yeah, so I do not trade with like a set like RR ever. I know a lot of people do. I have kind of dipped my toes into that a little while ago, but I think because I'm such like a logical and observant person of just like observing the markets constantly, I was like, realistically, like, yes, I'm doing what I want and getting where I want to be with this, but like, I'm not necessarily targeting like areas of interest. I'm not targeting, like you were just saying, any of these things. So I was like, realistically, it would make more sense for me to do so. So my risk never changes. To make it simple, like if I'm risking 2%, I'm risking 2%, no matter where my TP is. Um, I don't love doing anything below a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So anything above that, I'm comfortable, letting my TP ride to anywhere. But for my stop loss, yeah, it'll always be like 2%, like 3 max. And that's if like, let's say I'm on a higher time frame and I have a pretty good feeling like and it just needs a little wiggle room. But yeah, so it's never super set, but my risk, yeah, it always stays the same pretty much.
Okay, cool. What setups or rules do you hate to follow but know they work?
Honestly, probably the fact of just waiting for more than one confirmation.
Yeah.
Although I like to be logical, I'm not a very patient person. And so that was a big thing for me coming into that. It's like, okay, I have confirmation, I'm just gonna get in. And a lot of times it did go my way, but just by talking to other people and just seeing, you see the videos and just how other people do it. And I like to watch those things and just see like, what are you doing? What's working for you? Is there something, like I could adjust to have better results, stuff like that. So that was a big thing for me, and just learning that, yeah, like you might probably want to wait for more than one confirmation to set up. And I hated doing that. I've gotten used to it now. I'm a lot more patient with the charts and them moving a little slower and stuff, especially like on the higher time frames. But that was one that I hated, but it has just helped my journey so much in like, you know, reversals or getting stopped out just because I'm getting stopped out, right? So that was a big thing. And so yeah, I don't know.
What's your second confirmation?
Well, it all depends, honestly. Like I have a list of like, okay, do I see like a breaker structure? Do I see this? Is there sorry, I just need to if there's like engulfing candles, stuff like that. It all just really depends on like what exactly I am looking for. But like before, like on strategies that I was kind of, dipping my toes in the beginning, I was just like, okay, the minute there's like a breakup of like this little high, I'm gonna get in, but it's like market's not actually reversing, right? So stuff like that. So just making sure like it is passing a zone, or like let's say I do mark up like a small resistance zone. Like I don't trade like supply and demand, but a lot of times I'll just mark up like a zone that's, it comes back to a lot, or there's a lot of consolidation a bit further in the market, like making sure like, okay, it is passing this and it's rejecting back off of it, so it's not gonna like just switch around. So it's usually something like that, a mixture of a bit of everything, just kind of depending. So if I get like 2 or more of any of those, because a lot of the time they will all come hand in hand. So usually once I have 2 or more, then I'll be like, okay, like we're good. But yeah.
If for someone that is just starting trading and you're like, I know that the probability is this setup works, what would you tell them it would be? What would it look like?
Like the setup itself?
Yeah.
What setup I would tell them?
Yeah. Like your best friend, like start with this and just stick with this.
Yeah.
And you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's a great question. Wow, that's a great question. I will say I've seen many, many strategies in my journey so far. There is a lot that I teach that I don't necessarily use to this day, obviously, because you don't want to be bouncing like that, but some that I have seen and back tested and that were super helpful for me. I think anything just kind of like price action, like the strategy itself when it comes to like you know, the 1 hour, 30-minute, 15 or whatever, and then just marking up, like seeing the overall bias, making sure they line up on every time frame, and then, you know, marking out those zones of interest. I feel like that's a pretty solid one, pretty difficult to mess up also.
Yeah,
You know, it's pretty apparent, and I feel like it's pretty solid. And um, yeah, that's definitely one that was very, very helpful for me, that I still do trade honestly sometimes, a lot of the time, just because it is so apparent. And it's nice too that you can use this on many different pairs. Like there's
sure.
some strategies that I have used in the past, right? That it's like it'll only work on gold, or it'll only work
Mm,
on, you know, Euro
mhm,
USD and stuff like that. So I feel like that's pretty like universal.
mhm.
So probably that, yeah, I think that's pretty solid. And like, yeah, if you just stick to it and master it, I feel like you could do some pretty good stuff with that.
Yeah. What does your if someone followed you around with a camera, what does your day look like?
I love this question, actually. Um, I think honestly, just it's just gonna be chaos. If I'm being super, super honest. I don't think people understand like the extent and like what actually happens in my day-to-day life. You know, I'm constantly posting and stuff like that. What a lot of people don't know is that a lot of times I will like take a day and record like 50 videos, because I don't have time to
I
sit and film
wondered
every
about
single
that.
day,
I
right?
thought she's got to like have
Yeah.
these things scheduled.
Yes, I definitely do. So I usually like I'll spend a day, I'll change my shirt, I'll change my hat, like just so it's like
Yeah.
not super repetitive and boring. You know, there'll be those days where I'm in the car and I'll pop out a quick video and stuff, but so I think that would, you know, kind of be a little interesting to people, that it's like I actually don't have the time to sit and do that every day, because you know there's, you know, I have 6 a.m. hockey practice, then I have to join these courses, right? Because I'm obligated to take a certain amount of courses to play, and then
Mhm.
I'm, you know, working on all the education that I'm offering people, and I'm literally like all day every day I'm messaging people from my team back and forth, like people that I'm teaching, because there's always questions, right? There's always
Mhm.
more information. So I'm constantly doing that, and I'm doing that in 3 different languages. So it's like my day is constant, constant, constant. And then there's like normal day stuff, like I need to eat, like I need to shower, I need to, you know. So that's like it in between when I have time. If I'm being super honest, that's kind of on the back burner. um but yeah, like my days are usually like I want to say like 12 to 18 hours, give or take, of constant. And on top of that, I have my own trading. Like I'm trading, I'm,
Sure.
you know, I'm journaling, I'm doing all the stuff that I need to do for my own trading. You know, I'm meditating, or I'm listening to a podcast or whatever. So
Mhm.
that as well, my journey. But I think yeah, I think it would just be chaos. I don't think people really understand how crazy my days are. And the people in my life tell me all the time, like, you need to just sit down. Like, you just need to, you know, or I'm hanging out with people and they're just exhausted and they're like, can we just like sit? And I was like, no, like, I need to be productive. Like, I'm just someone like that. If I'm sitting for an hour and just scrolling, like, now I'm stressed out because I'm like, I could have spent that hour doing this, right?
Right.
So I think my cameraman would be pretty tired at the end of the day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just from that, I have more questions. So for people that may contact you in the future, what are the three languages that you translate into?
So English, obviously,
Mhm.
that is the most used language, I would say, with people um, from my teams, just because again, universal, most people speak English. I'm originally French, actually, in the north,
Mhm.
like we're franco-ontarien, so we speak French, which is like that's what I speak when I'm not on camera, when I'm
Yeah.
with my friends, sorry, when I'm with my family and stuff. So that's definitely a door that's open. There's not as many, I will say, as I thought there would be,
Mhm.
that are actually French, and you know, who would prefer that.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't know, but also considering the fact that I have a lot of people from out of the country, their most popular language is usually Spanish, right? So
Oh,
that there is as well. I'm not the most fluent, I will say. I kind of taught myself in high school and took a course or two in university a few years ago. So I'm still able to communicate. I'm still learning the whole reading and writing part. I will say it's very
mm,
different than just listening and speaking.
mhm.
But it's been good so far. Like I found my way around it. So yeah, English, French, and Spanish. Any one of
That's
these
great.
is, yeah, I can make my way around it. So
Yeah, yeah. So you're playing hockey, right?
yes.
Okay. And what is your plan when these hockey days are over and you're done playing?
Ooh, that's a great question, actually. So I actually just started getting back into it. So I had originally quit for like 10 years due to like injuries. I had to get like surgeries and stuff. So like I said, that was my career path. Like I was 12,
Mhm.
13, getting scouted for universities and stuff, which obviously I was way too young for, but yeah, I ended up quitting before that time ever came. So when I moved to the city, I was like, okay, like there is opportunities, and school just seemed like the best one for me and what I was looking for, and getting back into it. So I don't know. I think now I'm just really focusing on, trying to reduce my courses so that I can really, really focus on just, my brand and just everything I'm doing
Mhm.
with teaching and trying to grow that as much as possible. I would love to play as long as I can.
Sure.
Whatever that looks like, whatever life has in store, I would love to, just because I've been away for so long. So it's been really nice, to be honest, to kind of just go back to my roots and
Mhm.
that type of stuff. But I think, yeah, it'll just be like business and teaching and stuff like that. Like I'm really building my team slowly and, trying to get everything organized and, consistent live calls with people and stuff. So I think it'll just be a whole lot of that,
Yeah.
and a whole lot more chaos. So,
What's the most misunderstood part of being a woman in this industry?
ooh, I think just women are underestimated. I feel like in so many ways in life, not only
Mhm.
in trading, but whether that is sports or just any other job, um, or just our capabilities intellectually. In my
Mhm.
opinion, like not to sound mean, but I feel like I've met a lot more intellectual women than I have men, to be honest. And that might
Mhm.
just be the area I'm from. I mean,
Mhm.
boys will be boys. But yeah, I think it's always been just a little like it's gender roles. It's like girls just aren't smart enough for that. And um I feel like I've been pretty lucky in my trading journey, to be honest, in mutual respect. I feel like all the
Mhm.
men that I have met, especially um, in the industry, have respected me just as much as they would anyone else. I think just as traders, you kind of start off with some sort of mutual respect for most people. I mean, there is the odd,
Yeah.
people who
Mhm.
will just be who they are. But yeah, I think it's just really misunderstood that we are able and we are capable and we are intelligent and we're able to be just as disciplined and determined to do something this crazy. Like, not everyone is willing to drop everything and take that risk. And I feel like the more I'm on social media, the more women I meet who do this, and I just get so excited because I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
like we can do this too. Because I feel like when I started a few years ago and was just seeing everything, it was so many boys, like it was so many men,
Yeah.
which I understand, especially for like people who are a lot like into gaming and stuff. Like that's right up their alley
Yeah.
essentially. Like it's
Yeah.
different, but it's not. So I think, yeah, like it's just I feel like people give us a little look sometimes like, "Oh, you're a trader," and it's like, "Yeah, like I am." And so, yeah, I think just that, like, that we're misunderstood a bit in what we're capable of doing.
And what about the students that you have? What are the differences that you see between the men and the women?
Ooh, honestly, I was pleasantly surprised with actually the interactions I've had with, the males in my team. I did not feel like looked over at all in a sense, which I was kind of
Mhm.
expecting in some senses, but it's like they really do look up to me the same way that anyone else does, and I found that, like, really pleasant. Honestly, they're super great to work with. But I will say the girls, man, they just have something different. I don't know if it's, like, proving people wrong and proving boys wrong, but they're so, like, fiery and just, like, they just wanna get it done, and so, like, if I would have to bet, which I would never do, I love all my people that I
Sure.
teach, and they're all
Sure.
great, and they all put so much effort in, but, like, let's say we'd go, like, 50-50, like, in, like, some sort of competition or something of, like, where people would take things, I think the girls would take that 100%. They're just so determined. Like, it's crazy to me that
Yeah.
they just, you know, we're texting all these things and they're asking me so many questions and okay, well, I want to be better at this and I want to, you know, put more effort into this and I want to be more consistent with this. They're just so like there with me, you
Mhm.
know? So
Mhm.
that's I think is the biggest difference. The boys are a lot more chill. I feel like they're less stressed about it. You know, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna trade and that's that." And the girls are like,
Yeah.
"We're doing this now." So I think that's the biggest difference. Yeah, like everyone's motivated, but it's just it comes off very differently, I find.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. What about risk management with the men and the women? Who,
Boys are I don't know if I could say this on here, but they're a lot more ballsy, I will say. Just mean like, I feel like the girls are more as much as they are fiery and they want to get everything done, they're logical with every single move that they make. And not that the boys are not, but I feel like they're just not so nervous about it. You know, like,
mhm.
oh, if I lose this, I lose this. I feel like the girls take it a little bit more at heart. So when it comes to risk, the boys are just they just don't worry about that. They'll risk a lot more
Mhm.
than the girls I work with from what I've seen, and they're just not worried, and that blows my mind. Like I wish I was that
Yeah.
chill when I started trading. I'm just like,
Right.
oh, like whatever. But like they're still learning, and you know
Sure.
the importance of risk management. But yeah, I just feel like they're a lot more brave when it comes to that. I feel.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you still struggle with that people assume that you've mastered?
Ooh. Um. What do I still struggle with? Um. I feel like confidence, like I did say yes, my confidence has definitely shifted and boosted a lot more, but
Mhm.
I feel like just confidence in the sense of like um just you know being scared of disappointing myself.
Yeah.
I feel like you know you get online, you put on this front, you talk all this way, and like I do preach transparency so much and just like the truth behind trading and all these things. But you know, I'm not really gonna make a video saying like, hey, like I was really nervous taking this trade today because sometimes I still worry that like I don't know what I'm doing, even though I know I do.
Yeah.
But I feel
Yeah.
like I'm just also an overthinker. So I think people just assume that I'm like up there with Lamborghinis and doing all these things, which is like that's just not who I am. Like whether
Mhm.
I'm there financially or not, that's just not really my thing. But yeah, just the fact of you know being disappointed when something doesn't go your way or just you know you take a bad trade when it's like when you're this far into the journey it's like well what are you thinking like why would you do
Mm.
that you know so I think
Mhm.
that part is
Mhm.
like it's not really spoken about much and I do struggle with that sometimes of you know if I have a bad day
Mhm.
just with the charts or even just with my team like with anything I'm pretty hard on myself so I think yeah I don't think a lot of people think that I still look at things that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for some of us, it's just proving it's not you kinda said it. We're not wanting to disappoint ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, that's what trading is it's a game against myself, against my
100
own
yes,
mindset.
it's you versus you all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it is, yeah, and that too, and it's like, yes, losing is a part of trading, but it's like, let's say you make it just a dumb mistake that it's like,
Mhm.
like, I feel
Yeah.
like that is the hardest pill to swallow. It's like, you've been doing this for so long, like, you've been disciplined for so long, like,
Mhm.
why would you do that? But we're just human, I mean, those things happen, right? And that's the thing, it's you versus you, and sometimes, you know, that's not always fun, so.
Yeah. And what about your journaling? Are you a pencil paper gal or Tradezilla, or how do you journal your stuff?
Yeah, so I've been all over the place with that, I'll be super honest. I just could not figure out what worked for me and what was really like I'm learning the most about myself and
Mhm.
my trades. So, you know, it was on paper, then it was like books off Amazon that they're all like charted and stuff like that. And then it
Mhm.
was like Excel sheets and stuff like that. And now like with my broker, I do have access to like a trading journal that tracks everything and like you can go back to like the
Mhm.
actual chart. Which I know works for a lot of people, but like to be honest, I'm such a like pencil paper type of person. Like I
Yeah.
always end up going back there because it's just like I can write out my thoughts and I'm not confused in all the media and internet of things. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
paper books, like lined paper, and I can, mark out what it is that I did wrong, and I can mark notes and just go back and look at that. For me, it just feels a little more personal than like opening up like a Word document.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way that I prefer to do it.
Okay. What impact do you want your story to have on new traders and especially women?
I think just knowing that it is possible to do whatever you want. I think, like I said in the beginning of this, like we're also conditioned, and I think it's almost sad. And like these things, like trading, like anything that's not your basic go to school and do things, I feel like it's so taboo and it's not talked about at all, ever. Like unless you somehow end up seeing, I thankfully ended up seeing that video on TikTok and like whatever, but it's like if you don't fall into the right hands, it's a little difficult, but I feel like people make it a little bit more difficult than it has to be. Like a lot of people are waiting for, that perfect example of a person in front of them that can mentor them and
Mm-hmm.
basically like build that bridge for them, but you don't always have that, right? Like I didn't. Like I said, like yes,
Right.
I met this girl online and we joined this company, but we got nothing out of that. Like I was there for years knowing nothing, like still back home, and it's like I had to step out of that comfort zone myself and just do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in this, I'm gonna find a way to do it, and I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna take it into my own hands. Like at the end of the day, that's your own responsibility. But I think that's just the biggest thing. I just want people to know, like, and yeah, especially girls, that like you can do this. It's not just for
Mm-hmm.
boys. First of all, you are
Right.
fully capable, and just that, like, I feel like we spend so much time dreaming about our dreams essentially and not doing anything about them, and I feel like so many people are unhappy, and it's just again not spoken of because it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
you're not supposed to feel that way. You're supposed to follow this, and it's like you don't have to. Like, I want people to know that it's okay. Like, if your family
Yeah.
doesn't agree, too bad. Like, disappear, come back better. You don't owe anyone an explanation to what you want to do and why you want to do things differently. And, if you stay consistent and disciplined, you're going to make it happen. And no one's going to have something to say at that point, right?
Yeah.
So I think just that, like, I want them to know if you have something in mind, like, go do it. Because I promise, like, sitting there and just thinking about it every day is going to be so painful. Like, I did that for so long and it was like, it was miserable. I was miserable.
Yeah. I love that answer. Thank
Thank you.
you. I really love that answer. So if you could whisper one sentence to yourself at the start of your trading journey, what would it be?
This is actually a quote that I have hung up everywhere in my office. I'm not currently in my normal setup in office, but every failure brings with it a seed of an equivalent advantage.
Mm,
That is something that I have been writing everywhere since I like fully committed to trading and stuff. Because same as I said earlier, right? Like you need to lose to win. You need to learn how to lose in
mhm,
order to learn how
mhm,
to win. Um, and bad things are just it's a part of the journey. Like if the road was just straight and narrow and like that's just so boring and you're not growing, you're not really learning anything. Like, you're just staying the same. So it's like you need these failures to, push you to take that step in discipline or push you to whatever it is that it pushes you to, right? Like I feel like if I started trading with that company and it just worked out automatically, like I would not be where I am and I would not be doing the things that I am and I would not be the person in my personal life that I am, right? Like I
mhm.
had to go through all these struggles um to essentially get here, and now things are falling into place and now I get to teach, which is something I've been wanting to do for so long, but it's like things are going to happen the way they're supposed to, and I feel like people just need to trust. Like it is hard, failing is hard,
Mhm.
failing is difficult,
Sure.
it's not fun, but it's super necessary, like super
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah. What is I think you have from your Instagram, in my estimation, you have a different view of what freedom means than a lot of other traders that I see online. So, what does freedom
Yes.
mean to you?
Yeah, so yeah, like you've seen, I think that in the beginning, like everyone else, it was financial freedom, this and that, this and that.
Mhm.
I want to go here, I want to go to this fancy dinner. But um yeah, I think that just through my journey and just everything that's been going on in my life, that quickly shifted for me, and it was more so focused on just time freedom. Financial freedom is fun, sure. Like you can
Mhm.
go drive a supercar, do all these things, but it's like I don't think personally with who I am that that's very fulfilling for me. Um,
Mhm.
I have my brother is 7 years old. We have a very big age gap, but that's super important for me to be involved. And although like I'm 10 hours away, like that's why when it comes into, time freedom is like I can show up for things, right? Like obviously
Mhm.
financial freedom helps me do those things, but if I don't have the time freedom in choosing how my day is going, like I can't show up for stuff like that, right? Like, and I have two nieces under the age of 5, a nephew who's under the age of 1. So it's like there's going to be so many milestones and moments in their lives that it's just like if I'm stuck living, you know, the rat race and the life that everyone is, like, it's nearly impossible to really be there as much as I want to be. And just, I don't know how much you have seen on my social media, but just, in my own health journey also, there's been a few hiccups. So that to me was just like, I can't keep wasting time.
Mhm.
And, the money's gonna come with it. The money's gonna
Yeah.
come, whatever happens with that happens. But yeah, it's really just the time freedom, like, hey, like someone back home, something happens, someone needs me. Do I need to go and beg for work, to let me go there because someone's sick or whatever, and then go there and pray that I have a job when I come back, right? Like that to
Right.
me is so awful and stressful. It's like I don't want to, like, I want to be able to show up and be there for the people that actually matter to me, and go and live things that actually matter, that I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of people take for granted, but that became the goal for me ultimately in
Yeah.
my journey.
Yeah. What part
Yeah.
of this game is still a mystery to you?
I feel like there's so much. I feel like you never know everything, obviously, and to
Mhm.
be honest, one thing I keep repeating to my people, in my groups and stuff is like the less you know, the better. Because if I could go back and unlearn many, many things that I did in the beginning, I
Mhm.
would. It would have
Yeah.
made my life a lot easier. But I think just like I don't really know how to answer that question. Like, I think first of all, the fact that it's so taboo and such a mystery itself is
Yeah.
weird to me. Like, I do find that a little odd because, like I said a bit ago, like unless you're in the right place at the right time, like
Mhm.
chances are you're never gonna end up here. So that's still odd to me every day that it's like it's not spoken about. Like you really do have to fall into like the right hands really to like find out, or else you never will. And that's just like odd to me. Like, why is it so looked down on, but like
Mhm.
same as why we don't tell people we're traders, right? Like that
Right.
conversation's never fun. So I think that all kind of ties in. Like I that's just weird to me that like why wouldn't you want better? Why wouldn't you want more?
Yeah.
And why
Yeah.
don't we want to talk about that? Like that's a little odd to me.
Yeah. What
Hmm.
kind of trader do you wanna be in 5 years?
I think I just want to be better. I mean, I feel like there's always room for growth, not only in trading, but just everywhere. In every aspect of your life, you can grow as a person, but there's always something to learn. There's always,
Mhm.
fixing that can be done. So I think just continuing to grow as much as I can, and be in a space where my mind is open enough to allow myself to do that for as long as I'm in the space. And just kind of being a big role model for people. Like I know that I have my team now, and I'm starting to teach, and I have been for a bit. But I think like I've always wanted to help people. Like that was always
Mhm.
also a conversation. Like when I was like, I don't want to work a job. Like I just want to open all these like homeless houses and all these things. Like that's always what I wanted like to do ultimately, which is like obviously not the same thing, but it's helping people, right? So I think I just want to get as far as I possibly can with that, and hopefully 5 years from now, like, that will be huge. And obviously, hopefully, there'll be better ways to manage, speaking to everyone, so it's, like, less, crazy, but I just think that I would love to be in a spot where, like, this is my full time, like, where, my hockey door is closed and all these other things in my life, those doors have been closed, and that this is, like, I'm doing this and I'm changing people's lives and I'm building them as traders from the ground up. I think that would be super cool. Like that's the ultimate goal, and if that can happen in the next 5 years, I think that'd be super cool.
I think that's awesome. And I believe in you. I think you can
Thank
do
you. I
it.
appreciate that.
So, Sky, tell us where we can connect with you, and I will make sure and put the links below this video.
Awesome. Yeah. So basically on every platform, it's just Sky Trades with 2 Ys, except on Instagram, there is 3 Ys in there, just because the other one was taken. So everything on there, and then like my telegrams, anywhere that you can like directly contact me. That's not like a Instagram message, just because that's harder for me to get to. There's so many. They're all linked in all of my bios, like any social media, social media that you will find of mine. There will be a link to my personal Telegram, all my Telegram group chats. Like it's pretty hard not to be able to reach me. So yeah, any one of my social medias, Sky Trades, with 2 Ys.
Very good. All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And we'll see you guys next time. I'm really looking forward to doing more videos with women that trade. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me also, by the way. This was great experience.
You're welcome. Whereas when they see you or me or anyone else normal,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, well, if she can do it, I think maybe I could do it too. And it's not about the profitability. It's about the struggle.
No, exactly.
You got
The
to,
journey is everything.
We've all been in the middle of that struggle before we got profitable, and that's okay. I just want, I want reality. I want real.
I love that, to be honest. And yeah, that too, I like to talk about a lot of like enjoy the journey. Like not every day's fun. It's very difficult actually. You'll go through a lot and you'll doubt yourself and there'll be all these things, but when that's not there anymore, you're gonna miss it, right? Like, oh, I remember when I was so excited about this. It's like it's a journey, and you need to learn how to love the journey and appreciate it, because if not, it's like, what are you doing, you know?
Right. And I think you probably learned that in sports, because that
100%.
when, you know, I played sports too back in the day, and that's what the memory, when you look back, that's where all the memories are. The memories really aren't on the championships. The memories are on the 6 a.m. practices, you know?
Yeah, and the off ice stuff, and I fully agree. I think